In this episode, Brian and I return to Metal Detect, the old house site that is reportedly haunted by the ghost of a little 10-year-old girl who perished in the house fire. This house does not show up in the 1886 county survey, so we are unsure when the accident really occurred. We hope to uncover evidences of the fire to prove the story true and to find anything not destroyed by time, and hopefully zero in on the date when the fire occurred. I could not find any historical references that stated the little girl's name or her family that lived in this house. As recently as 2024, an oil and gas worker sitting in his truck heard female voices all around him just below this cabin site. He got out of his truck, walked around, and tried to find the sources of those voices. He never did. He got into his truck, drove down the road, and came across my aunt sitting on her porch. He asked her if she had been up there in those woods, and she said no. And he told her that he had heard female voices all around him while he sat up there in his truck. And she told him about the story of the haunting of that house. Is this place haunted? I'm glad that you guys are joining me on this episode. I hope we find something that relates to this little girl and her living here. Hopefully we can give her peace and give this site rest. Stay tuned. Linda's going to tell us about the girl in the yellow dress. It's right here in this valley, and the house that burned down that she was in is right up here.
My sister and I went to town, got a bunch of groceries, and I don't drink my water anymore. I buy water, and I said to Betty, I hope one of them guys come along when I'm going to the house with my groceries. Well, I got some groceries up to the house, and I heard put, 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 put. Here come a side-by-side up the road. They were down at Baker's. It's where they kept all their equipment. They come up the road, and he said, ma'am, do you need some help? I said, I sure do. He helped me. He said, I got something I want to ask you about the woman in the yellow dress. I said, no, there was a woman in a girl in a yellow dress. He said, I want to tell you something. He was another contractor. He come up here, and he said, my grandmother told me there was ghosts, and I'll tell you, I think I seen ghosts. I didn't see him, but I heard him yesterday. He was up here, and he left a shovel somewhere, and he was going back up on the hill, and he could hear these women talking, but he couldn't understand what they were saying. And he kept looking to see if he could find where these people were at. They would talk a little bit, and then they'd stop, is what he said. He said it made the hair come up on my arms. This was right before, Halloween. So when I seen one of the workers, the supervisor, the next day, I said, what did you do to that guy? It's nothing. Why? I said, he told me that he heard voices and everything. He said when he come off the hill, wherever he was at, he was whiter than a sheet. And he said, this is my last day up here. He said, I'm not coming back.
And the girl is a young girl in a yellow dress with a basket, and she would sing.
Yeah.
And she lived right up here in this house. We're going to see if we can find anything from that time and try to date that house. I don't know when it was built, when it burned down, but it's not on an 1886 map. I'm on site, and I'm here with my cousin Brian. He is using his CTX MineLab, and today I'm going to use my Deus 2. And we are going to go up into the woods right here. There is an old house site up here. By now, if you watched the prior video, you'll see the intro into that. This house site was not on an 1886 map, so we're going to walk up there, and we're going to metal detect that site, and we're going to see if we can find artifacts that date that site and help us to know when that house was there. Maybe give the ghost that resides here, maybe help her rest in peace. All right, so just hang tight. We'll be there in a second. All right, I'm going to turn the machine on, get all nice and synced up here. 84, 85, because it's in the coin range, but rifle shells and aluminum cans also, in fact, there's something metal right there. There it is. There it is. No, it's not deep at all. What is this? That is a band, a barrel band for a barrel. They'll know that it's been metal detected. All right, I got a good hit here. It's about the same reading. 84, 85. Right there. We're gonna dig that up. Maybe it's a coin and not a rifle shell. It's a coin, I see it. Yes, I do. I saw it plopping. It's gonna be a penny.
1987.
Lord, I can't tell what that is. I have to clean this up, but I think it's an Indian head cent. That is only my second hole. I can't tell what that is. All right, you guys, I'm going to get out my other phone, my camera phone, and I'm going to see if I can't get a reading, an ID on this coin. All right, you guys, I got a good signal here, and it reads 69. That's a little jumpy. This is not in the coin range. It's actually in the rifle shell range. Yeah, right there. Right there. Yeah, no, shotgun stamp because I just found it. Right there. All right, so Brian said he found his first artifact here. He found a stove part. We'll look at that in a minute. Now, you don't want to bring her on to you.
No, that's why I'm leaving it.
No, he said he found the stove part to a potbelly stove, he thinks. So I think that's what it is. That caused the fire that killed the little girl that lived here. She can speak you, Brian. 62, 63. 62, 63. Let's see what that is.
Literally says overload.
Brian says his detector says overload on it. You're in an iron patch. Now another piece of sheet metal. Now, that's what I was afraid of. I told Brian, I said we're gonna find a lot of that. Yeah, right there. We're probably not gonna find a whole lot at this house. It's just I don't think this house was lived in very long. And yeah, Brian guess you already found a coin. Well, that might be the only thing. I told him, I said the first thing I find is typically the best thing I find all day. Anywhere I go, it's like the first thing I find is the best thing I find. You're over here smoking a cigar. He's up here smoking a cigar. All right, let's move on to the next plug. All right, you guys, I found this right on this rock. It actually was underneath the rock right here. And you have seen these before in other people's videos. I know that Brad Martin finds some of these a lot, and he'll tell you what they are. But this actually goes on a sai. I don't know what the name is because I don't find very many of them. I've probably only found a few of these ever. But this is what this goes on to. When I get the name of it, I'll put it in the video. I don't know what this looked like 200 years ago. It might have been a hayfield, but there's no yard here. It's just a mountain that just drops off. On to the next hole. Brian's chasing all the skeeters away. What was that, by the way?
It's that ring. I put it on that.
Oh, you found a ring? So you found a ring. Well, let's look at that. I got a good hit. I've already actually started digging it out, and I haven't got to it. Well, it's 88, 89 to 94, and I thought, man, I should turn my detector on just in case it's silver or a nice big large cent. Probably iron. And there it is. This is a railroad spike. What in the world is a railroad spike doing up here?
Well, they made knives out of them. It'd be blacksmithed at all.
A railroad spike? I mean...
They use them for blacksmithing, turn it into a horseshoe. That's what they would do with them.
Well, this railroad spike read a 94 on that dais, and that's as high. That's crazy. Yeah, maybe there's something else in there. Maybe that wasn't it. All right, let's reach in here. Dig that. These people were poor pioneers. Well, they had a penny. I found it. It's iron. Oh my. Oh. Holy cow. It's an axe head.
Oh, another one.
Yeah, it's an axe head. Yep. Brian thinks I found the tool shed. I'm gonna keep that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep this up here at this old house site. It's heavy, so I'm gonna sit it on the fireplace, but out here cutting, chopping wood. All right, you guys, there's something in this hole here. I haven't dug down to it, and I should have showed you. It was a real low tone, so I'm expecting it to be a shotgun brass. But I pulled these out, and you know, these tell a story too. This is crockery, and I also found this in there. Now this is interesting. There's some pieces of it down here. I probably hit it right there. You can see I hit it. Doggone it.
Broke it.
It
was worth $100,000.
No, it was that little girl's mother's.
Sugar bowl.
You see what it is? Yeah, I think it could be a sugar bowl. The hole here has been busted in. I didn't do that. I'll take that and clean it up. All right, you guys, I'll just pop this out of the ground. And this is an interesting object. What is this doing up here? I think this is the tooth from an old rake, what they cut their fields with. And this would date probably in the 1880s, for sure. It almost looks spooky, doesn't it? Our iron treasure box is growing, so we haven't really found anything of note. I told Brian, I said, these pioneers came in here, and these pioneers, these are my family. These are our family. They came in here, and they were dirt poor. And they came back in these sticks like this because land was dirt cheap. And I said, they were so poor, they didn't even have 2 nickels to rub against each other. 2 nickels to rub. So they were poor. All right, Brian is on the board. He is officially on the board. Now there'll be a maker's mark if it's got...
Is that a scratch or a marker?
Well, it's silver plated. The mark would be right back here. If it's cleaned up well, it'll be right there. Yeah, that's a little spoon. You're on the board. All right, you guys, I found something really cool. This hole was nothing but iron. I told Brian, did I not? I said, I stick my pinpointer down there. It's just going to go bananas. Yep. And it was, but I said, I'm going to try to see what's in there anyway. And I popped the dirt back, pulled it out, and found glass. Blue glass. But something else popped out. And it's unlike anything I've ever seen. Looky there. What is that?
Fastener to a drawer. Like a handle? Like a drawer handle?
I hit it. I thought it was like a little bell.
I think it's like a knob on a drawer.
Oh, look, it's falling apart. Yeah, I think it could be in a drawer pull, and the escutcheon where the drawer pull went into it.
Or yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, it's falling apart. I probably can find a piece that just fell off of it, or it's a hat to a fireman. I was hoping to see like holes in it, thinking it might be a salt and pepper shaker. Man, it's brittle looky there. I'm not gonna mess with that anymore. All right, that's cool. You guys, that's a mystery item to me. If you know what that is, let me know. All right, you guys, I just dug this up, and I was getting my hopes up, you know, thinking it might be something. I don't know if it's a nameplate that we could get some information from. It's got that white metal. I don't know. If you have any clue what that is, let me know. I'll put this over in our collection. All right, it's getting bigger. All right, Brian found a couple interesting. He thought they were shotgun shells, but they're not. They're actual rivets from a saddle, and they're thick, and the leather is still in them. And the reason the leather is still in them after all of these years is because the brass would produce an acid enzyme that would actually preserve the leather. And look here, there has been a house fire. See that black? You can see the ash. You can see the ash right there. The chimney fell down this way. I think the house actually sat on that side of it. That's where we found all the stuff. And probably sat out here off the porch and threw his harmonica out here. This poor little girl got trapped in this house and died. She was about 10 years old. God bless him. All right, you guys, I found an old pocket knife. And it looks like it was in a fire. And you can see the black right there, and the black right there, and this thing has been burned in a fire. And so far, some of these artifacts that we have been finding are black with soot, and I don't know when this house burned down. So that's probably a pretty old knife. We'll clean that up and we'll take a look at it. And I'll put it in the video at the end. All right, you guys, welcome back. We're going to go ahead and go to another site that's down here. We don't want to spend the whole day at this old house site. I think I found enough to tell the story. And there definitely was a house fire here. I can tell you that for sure. Because one of the things that I found was melted glass. And I found a lot of that. The other thing I found here was black soot on the harmonica reed. And there's soot on this knife. So it definitely was a house fire here. I did find a coin here. It's an Indian cent. I found this decorative piece. I'm not really sure what that is. This is a nub. I believe it's a nub, what they call a nub from a haysai. You know, I found this piece of china here. Found two axe heads here. And I found this piece from a hay rake. And Brian found this piece from a cast iron stove. All right, you guys, I'm here with Brian. I just caught up with him. We're heading out. And I had him bring out his stuff that he found. Of course, the spoon you saw. The rivets you saw. You didn't see the centering. He found a centering. He found this. And it is white metal. And I told him, I said, typically these would be on buckets, but this thing is way too thick to be on a bucket. So, I don't know what it went on to. But, you know, actually, I think it did go on a bucket. See that? Where the handle was? That's what he found. Did you have fun?
Had fun.
Did you see the ghost?
I did. Blew her a kiss.
Blew her a kiss. All right, you guys. Thank you for watching this episode. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. Catch us on the next one. And just stay tuned for another video of the house site we're heading to now. Take care and God bless.